I like books for kids, and there's a lot of different kinds of books. And then this book pops up. And I said, this has to be a joke. No, it's a real book. What's the title of the book? This is the title of the book. If you can zoom into
the
this
gay
book.
BCs.
Are you serious?
No, if you can zoom in, by the way. Rob, you're laughing, and part of it could be funny. The website is called queerbooks.com, okay? And this is a real book. So I bought it. I'm like, okay, let me take a look at this. The gay BCs. Let's go through it together.
B. Oh, sorry about that.
Well, let's take a look. So here's what A. A is for, is that ally, a friend who is there to stand up for you with strength, love, and care. I like that.
Yeah.
B is for bi.
Oh.
You can shout it out loud. I like boys and girls, and that makes me proud.
What ages is this for? Does it say at the beginning of the book?
What do you mean what ages? It's like you're not
It's a
reading
kid's
this
book.
at 18 years old. This is a kid's book. This has got to be.
The author is M.L. Webb. Who is
I
this?
actually want to go through this to see.
On Amazon, it says the grade level is preschool through 3rd grade.
Yeah, this is exactly where I was going with this.
Okay.
The Don't Say Gay bill specifically targets people 3rd grade and under. Do not talk about this stuff.
So basically congressman, basically.
C is for coming out. You're ready to share what you feel deep inside. It's okay to be scared.
Mm-hmm.
D is for drag. You can strut. And by the way, this is not a joke. This is a book. You can strut and dance in clothes that you have. Dresses, heels, and pants. E is for equality. We're on the same team. We all have the right to love, hope, and dream. F is for family, related or found. They'll stick to by your side, ups and down. Good. G is for gay. It's a word that implies that you're a girl who likes girls or a guy who likes guys. H is for hope. Dream up a life you love. Sky's the limit. And by the way, intersex is I. J is for joy. Key is for Kiki. L is for lesbian. M is for mountain. N is for non-binary. O is for orientation. P is for pan. Q is for, obviously, queer. R is for respect. S is for sachet.
Sachet.
That goes with drag.
T is for
shout out to RuPaul there.
T is for trans. It's a brave step to take to live as the gender you know. U is for unique. V is for vogue. W is for wonder. X is for, you can write it down when you have M or from his pronoun. U is for you. Y is for you. Z is zest.
Yeah.
That's a book. Okay. The gay BCs. Okay. So should they have the right to sell this book? The answer is what? Of course.
Yes.
Of course you should have the right to sell this book.
Price of free speech is free speech.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with
By
selling.
the way, this came out in 2019. This is before the serious trans culture wars really were highlighted.
But now here's the part. You when they say nobody is grooming, that's the part when you see stuff like this. As a parent, this stuff is getting into schools. This stuff is getting into kids reading this. What does a 5-year-old think about when they read something like this? The 8-year-old, a 10-year-old. If I were to tell you right now, as a kid, what phrase do you remember your mother or your father telling you that you believe till today? Positive. What phrase? What did your mom or dad tell you that till today you remember?
My mom would always tell me you can be anything you want to be just as long as you give it your best.
Okay, Tom.
My parents were big on honesty.
Okay.
Always tell me the truth. Even if you've done something, tell me the truth.
How many times did they say that to you? How many times did they say that?
It was constant. It was constant. My brother and I were only about less than 2 years apart. We would get into mischief. Things would happen. I remember 6, 7 years old, we'd break something, and so it was always, or somebody gets hurt, somebody's crying, and it's like, tell us the truth. Tell me the truth. And I can remember the punishment was always slightly moderated if you told the truth. If they had to dig it out of us or one of us was lying, it was always the punishment was a little heavier.
You got the belt?
For what you did or and for the lie. It was like a compounding effect. But if we told the truth, but that was always what my parents say, just tell me the truth.
What was it? What was it that was over and over again for you? Rob, what was it for you? Over and over, like you heard over and over again.
I don't even know why to this day, but it just sticks in my head. My dad used to say, no matter where you go, there you are. I have no idea what that means. If you're lost, you're somewhere.
That's a quote from Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, I thought that was Austin Powers. Hey, there you are. Do I know you? No, but there you are.
Go, Adam, how about yourself?
My mom, I mean, again, she'd always tell me to try us, but my mom is like the most loving, caring person. She would always say, I I don't care who it is. It could be the CEO or the janitor. You have to treat them the same. Like, you have to treat people the same way. You have to do this. You have to treat people right. Treat people right. Treat people that you want to be treated. The golden rule, treat people right. Treat people right. And that served me well.
Okay, so here's a question for you. I want to flip it on you. You ready? Some of you already know where I'm going with this. What if, Adam, your mom said, Adam, if you're gay, it's okay? What if your mom said, Adam, if you like boys, it's okay? What if actually, I want you to think about, Adam, if you're gay, just tell me.
Yeah, well.
What if she told you that 1,000 times, over and over and over again? Now, you may say, I would still be straight because I love women, right?
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. That's 1,000 times that thought is in your head as a 6-year-old, 8-year-old, 10-year-old. Okay?
Affirmation.
If your mom and dad told you, Tom, if you like boys, you can tell me, son. Like, can you imagine even that phrase?
Like, preemptively, before you even said anything?
Preemptively, even the kid giving a sign, like they're saying anything. Like, here's a question. What is the advantage of a kid reading this book? What is the advantage of a kid reading this book? That's what I want to know. What is the advantage? If somebody is in a climate like this of where we are today, you think people feel uncomfortable being gay today versus what it was 30 years ago?
No.
Like, so this is the part where you get a Bill Maher that comes out saying, why are you trying to, increase this? Why? So there's a video, I'm going to send it to you, Rob, if you can share this, where a child exposes his mom. Okay, it's a very, I don't know if you guys have seen this video or not, where there are parents now where they're proud to have this and talk about this and say, look, my kids are gay. It's a bragging right. If the Asian father says, my son said, did we play this clip before or no? I want to show this to you as well. Rob, if you can see this clip I just sent to you, look how the kid is like, and the mom gets a little bit upset. Just look at this reaction. I think this is the same video.
Volume.
Yeah, let's see if this is the one or not. Watch this.
People that aren't like serial killers like Ted Bundy.
Does your mom say you have to be LGBT? No, I think she's what I want to be, but
Hold on. Go ahead, Lex. Go ahead. Keep talking. Say what you're saying.
My mom doesn't matter if I am gay or lesbian or any of that. She doesn't care. All she cares about is that I'm a part of it. And if I'm not a part of it, she'll try to convince me to join it. Because
What? Are you saying right now?
Facts.
That I would convince you to join what?
The LGBTQIA plus community.
That's crazy. You saw the mom's reaction? A kid is not going to say something like that just because he thinks about that. Even a kid is sitting there saying, dude, my mom just wants to be part of this organization, right? There's a problem here. There's this parent, I don't know if you've seen this one. Let me see this one if I can find. You have to see this one. I'll find a clip to show it to you. But you see a book like this, you see what happens. It gives credibility to parents. Tom, what are your thoughts when you see something like this?
Look, the price of free speech is free speech. That's my first thought. And my second thought is each organization, each group is going to publish books that it wants to read. And LGBTQ, they're going to publish books they want to read and books for their kids. And that's the long and short of it. I feel, like
does it make you feel uncomfortable? I'm curious.
Yeah, it does. You see,
even
kid,
right now, but even
the kid in the video, it kind of exposes the feeling. His mom is telling him one thing, but he's feeling a different thing, and there's some conflict in that kid.
But just thinking about even giving your thoughts on it, do you feel uncomfortable?
Well, yeah, because nowadays, I am the unprotected enemy, a white male, Canadian descent though may I be. If I say anything too much, I will catch the most heat. So I never moderate or lie about my positions, but I'm very careful about expressing them.
I'll just say one thing. To use the alphabet analogy, there's nothing wrong with being gay. And before we go down this rabbit hole of like, these guys are anti-gay, if that's who you are as an adult, God bless you. We have gay friends, lesbian friends, all good. Like, I'm very vocal. I go out in South Beach. I know they're all out there.
The Roberts decision says you can marry.
Do what you got to do. But I think the resounding effort from at least our narrative is like, leave the goddamn kids alone with this kind of stuff. Specifically, the fact that Rob pointed out that this book is aimed at 3rd grade and under. So what is that? 8 years and under? So what are you talking? 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds? Why is sex and gender and identity and all this even a thing at this age? Now, we can have the argument or conversation of, well, when do you start teaching these kind of things? Is it middle school? Is it high school? Do the kids talk amongst themselves? Should it be a class? Should it be books? Should it be the free market? But I think we're all in agreement that kindergartners should not be figuring it out if they're bi or not. That's not a thing that they should be developing at that age. Like, for instance, when I was in kindergarten, I wanted to be a dinosaur. Okay? So if someone was like, it's okay to be a Tyrannosaurus Rex, that's who you are on the inside. It's like, okay, at what point does it go to, all right, I want to be Peter Pan, I want to be a cowboy in Indian, I want to be an athlete, I want to be a princess. When does reality and fantasy kind of take over, especially when you're a kid, because you have wild imaginations? And I think it's just leave the kids alone.
Play this clip. This is the problem, though. This is the problem right here. Play this clip.
And I are here today because we have a trans child. Asher, 6 years old. At 3, she was not sleeping very well. She was waking up every single night. It was a lot more than just a toddler waking up. And one day I picked her up from daycare. All the teachers had said, Asher told us that she's a she. And Asher comes around the corner, and I said, hey, there's my beautiful daughter.
What?
Oh my
a few
God.
sleepless nights, a random
you
declaration.
Can pause it. You can pause it. Matt does a great job talking about this stuff. Your son, did you hear? Like, this guy sounds like an educated guy.
3 years old.
What are you talking about, bro? And he's getting the mic. The mic. You know what is a form of giving the mic to speak at an event? That is a recognition. If somebody gives you their audience, their mic, that is a form of a recognition. I recognize you, that you have a credible message to give. Come give your message. We're giving the mic to that message. That father can believe that. But if he's doing that because he wants to be invited to certain parties, or he wants to be accepted by a certain community, or he wants to be known as a sensible, whatever, well, then you're using your kid as a prop. Like, you know how the joke about uncles are like, hey, let me borrow your 2-year-old kid, man, to go to the mall. And it's like, you take the kid and like, hey, oh, you have such a beautiful, oh, thank you. Oh, so what's your name? Oh my God. You use it as
I do that with puppies. But yeah.
You do it with cats, though. We do it with cats. So, but it's kind of like a prop that you use. You're using your kid as a prop for something like this. Give it a break. Who's trending right now on Twitter? Drew Barrymore. You know why she's trending right now on Twitter? Because of this TikTok guy, Dylan Mulvaney. I don't know if you've seen what happened with this Dylan Mulvaney, where a bunch of people are posting this, sharing how, her story of trans and all this stuff, and then eventually Drew Barrymore apparently gets on her knees. I don't know if you've seen this or not. That's the picture that's going viral. Right there. That's the knee picture. So she gets on her knees. That's a guy.
That's a guy in the dress?
Drew's definitely not a guy, but the guy, that's a guy. That is
And why is she on her knees? What's going on?
It's like, man, thank you so much for being so brave and doing this. This is what we're highlighting. This is what's being turned into heroes, okay? That is the problem. Mm-hmm. And by the way, the same exact, when I watched Tom being uncomfortable with this, you know what the average parent is thinking about right now? Here's what the average parent's thinking about right now. Tom and I were talking yesterday. We're talking about a couple big deals that we're doing, and we're in my room upstairs, and I'm getting Tom's counsel, like I always do. I'm always asking Tom, hey, Tom, what do you think about this? Tom, what do you think about that? And we're processing issues together. And one of the deals that we're going through, Tom says, I worry if we're going to be able to close that deal. I said, why is that? And if it happens, you'll hear about it. It's very big. If it doesn't happen, you'll never hear about it. Maybe I'll write about it in a book 5 years from now, 10 years from now, but you're not going to hear about it anytime soon. And he says, I worry if that deal's going to close. I said, tell me why. He says, because of the opinions and the stuff we talk about. I worry if that community will accept the voice and what we talk about on the podcast. You know what that is? That fear shouldn't exist. When you have kids, like, here's the part with me as a parent. So I'll go to schools, okay, and I'll go to the school and I'll see some of the parents, and you'll talk to some of the parents, or you'll see some of the teachers, and some of them will you'll know if they're with you, and they'll say, "Oh my God, hey, what's up, Patrick? How you doing? Oh my God, da 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 da, it's so great. The last podcast, I loved it." And then you'll also see some of them that are kind of like, "I know who you are. I can't stand what you stand for." Totally cool. But now watch this. As this gets bigger, what's going to happen to their last name? It's not like their last name is Aguilar or Jones or Jackson, where there's a billion, not a billion, but there's a lot of Aguilars, Jones, and Jacksons out there, right? The last name is what? David. How many Sosnicks are there? How many Ellsworths have you met in your life? Okay? But the point I'm trying to make to you is that fear shouldn't be there. As a kid, when I lived in Iran and people would ask me about my religion and my parents would say, "Don't say it," never liked it. Like, my parents are Christians. We're Christians. I never liked the fear where you can't talk about it because you're going to be judged. Yesterday I posted a job post, and we're hiring right now aggressively. We've got 18 job openings. And I posted a video. If you can go to the video I posted yesterday, one of the guys comments, and he says something. And we got hundreds of applications being submitted last night. This guy says something. I hope the comment comes all the way at the top so I can read this comment, because this is kind of where we need to go, where keep going. It's a video right there. Go to the comment, click on it, and let's go to the comment section. Go a little lower, go a little. Okay, right there. Fantastic. It's there. Zoom in. He says, "Patrick, so I'm asking for somebody to be our managing director of our consulting firm, right? David Consulting." And I said, to be able to be the managing director of David Consulting, this is a multi six-figure job that's going to pay very well to whoever it's going to be, okay? With the potential of making 7 figures within a 3 to 5 year period. It's a high-paying job. This guy says, "Patrick, I don't like your criteria. When you started PHP, you weren't an ex-McKinsey consultant, but you still had the chops to do the job well, and you did it. There's talented folks out there who don't care about your prestige. You're overlooking by bias for MD, okay? This is not an easy job for an average guy off the streets to come and do. And by the way, when I was starting PHP, I was a 30-year-old running a multi-million-dollar a year business in my 20s. I wasn't just a guy off the street. Look at my response, what I said to him on the bottom. I said, "My criterias were never intended to be liked. It's not for everyone. All the best."
Yeah.
You know what I like his response? Fair. I respect it. Good luck with the search. I actually like the way he handled it as well.
Yeah.
My goal with this podcast and where we're going and what the climate is for us to be able to say, this Dylan Mulvaney guy, this is weird stuff what you're doing. This is a weird book. It's weird. You can sell it. It's capitalism, but it's weird. It's weird for parents to feel a little scared that, God forbid, if a parent has a position, a university that his daughter or son wants to go into may say no because we found this clip of you saying this. That should not be the case. That is the only part about this right now with parents where they're afraid to talk about how they feel about certain situations. Where you go into school in orientation, the first person you hear in orientation is, "I am part of the LGBTQ community. I see myself as a they, them, or whatever, and I'm this, that. And at our school, we do this, that." Yeah, that's kind of weird to do that. If the population is a small population and that's who you're trying to market to. But anyways, you see some of this stuff happening, little awkward, little weird. I wanted to kind of share this book. When I saw it, I thought other people would probably relate to the concerns some parents are going through.
You know how they say back in the day when it comes to TV and media that you got to win the central time zone. You ever heard that before?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's not about the LAs of the world or the New York cities of the world, but like win the central time zone, win Iowa, right? Win Michigan, win Ohio, and that's where your audience is. And I feel like there's a metaphor here to what's going on here. You know what should be mainstream in America and shouldn't be contentious or a bad thing to say is just normal traditional family values, father, mother, kids, happy families. That should be normal. And the problem to all the allies, to use the word A over there, is that you're trying to basically make this type of stuff mainstream. And you can make that argument about why this shouldn't be mainstream, but also respect the fact that you can be who you want to be, but stop indoctrinating kids. And that's what I think essentially your biggest argument is.
Again, one day this stuff is going to come out. That when it's going to come out what some places I partied at and what I did. I'm not sitting here telling you I walk on water. I'm not sitting here. If people partied with me and they ask what was Pat like to party with, some of the stories you're not going to believe. To say Pat really did that with, yes, I've had a lot of fun, prior to choosing to change my life. I did a lot of stuff in partying, in the military, in Tennessee, in Kentucky, in Vegas, all over the place. I had a lot of fun. I've always loved women, and I've had a great time with it, but I've always gotten along with anybody, straight, gay, whatever. I had nicknames. The Greek god, because every time I told them I'm a Syrian, they said, "You're Sicilian." I said, forget about it. I am Sicilian. I am Greek. I can't explain to you what a Syrian is because it was so, you're Syrian. No, Assyrian. That 4 minute of explanation what a Syrian is, I got tired of it.
Yeah.
You know what? I am Sicilian. You're right. I got the nose, I got the ears, I got the look. I'm Sicilian. Let's just finalize.
Right there near the bottom of the boot.
So this is not about judgment. This is about leave the kids alone, man. Let the kids figure out for themselves. I had no idea what I was going to do till many, many years later on in life while I had a brain to really think. And that didn't happen till many years later. This kid, if you would have judged me on what I'm going to do in my life in high school, I had a 1.8 GPA, I was a lost cause. But it took me a minute to figure myself out at 25. If a person wants to do that later on in life, let them do it. Don't put these things in their mind early. Mm-hmm. You confuse the hell out of a kid when you do that.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.